Well, why don't you tell us how you feel your senior year going to Minneapolis for the tournament?
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's going to be a good first matchup against Iowa State. We played them earlier for our scrimmage at the beginning of season, and they're a different team and we're a different team now, so it'll be interesting to see that matchup. And then obviously if we move forward and play Minnesota, it's going to be a good matchup. I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of good volleyball.
What's the difference between NCAA tournament volleyball and maybe Big East tournament or just a regular season match?
I guess there's always that anything can happen because you're not normally playing a team that you would play, and upsets happen in the NCAA tournament. So it's just exciting knowing that anyone can be anyone at this point, and if you have a bad day, then it's the end of your season. So I think that just puts a little more, how do you explain it? I guess pressure on you to perform well. So I think it's a positive and it can be a negative, but anyone can be anyone at this point. So it's just exciting going into it.
With that mindset, how do you approach this week, knowing that it's not just potentially the end of your season, but your career? Like, what's this week like for you?
Yeah, I think just in practice, especially coming off this past weekend, going in and still working to get better. Like, we cannot get complacent. Like, it's going into end of the season, so we still have to go in to get better. And I don't know, we just have to put everything in that we can over this next week.
Britt, 4 years ago, you got hot on the road. What do you remember about that, and can you kind of equal that formula that you had 4 years ago?
Yeah, I think not hosting, you kind of have less pressure on you to be that top team. I guess my freshman year, we were on the road and we're like, we have nothing to lose at this point, so we just went out and played the best that we can, which you should every time. But I think not hosting is a different kind of mentality. You can just kind of do whatever and you have nothing to lose, so just do what you can, I guess.
Brittany, how did you guys talk at all over the last few days about what to expect today? Or was there, I mean, what was sort of the rumblings amongst the team as to where you might end up?
Minnesota was definitely where it was a big option that we thought we were going to. We didn't really talk about it a lot. We just kind of talked about this past weekend. We're like, whatever we get coming up on Sunday, we just have to move forward from this past weekend, regain our confidence, get better, and improve on what we can. So we didn't really care where we went, I guess. Obviously, you want the best that you can, but yeah, we were just excited to get back in the gym and keep continuing our season.
You would have cared if it was Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. We would have loved that, but...
Hey, what does it say about the program, though, about maybe the fact that you're not hosting? There's a level of maybe a twinge of disappointment before you refocus. That says a lot to where you built this thing, does it not?
Yeah, it does say something that we're disappointed that we're not hosting this year. I guess, I mean, you can't host every year. It's obviously a select few that get to. So it just shows that the work that we've put in over the last couple years has paid off, and I hope it keeps going on like that.
What do you think about the St. John's match? What goes through your mind? Obviously, they made a statement that it wasn't a fluke with the next performance the next day, but when you think about on that match, what do you feel like you guys left out there?
We talked about this. I think we were almost a little too lax going into it. Normally we, before the Marquette game, we were super energized, and it's not that we didn't care for the St. John's game. There was just a lack of energy almost. So I think just preparing better before the match and getting in the mental state of every single match is important now, and we have to have that perfect amount of excitement and not being too nervous or excited, but just finding that perfect amount and not being too relaxed going into it. So looking back, I just don't think we were prepared physically. We knew a game plan and everything. I just think mentally we weren't 100% checked in that it was going to be a really tough match.
When you have the level of energy that you guys brought to the Marquette match and other big matches throughout the year, what do you feel like your potential looks like on the court when you guys do bring all of the variables to the table?
I think we can compete with anyone. If we have that level, if we're low air and we play the best we can with our energy and everything, I think we can compete with a lot of teams. We have a ton of parity is what we always talk about. Is we don't have one hitter that's a go-to. We have multiple. So I think we can do pretty well if we get ready for it.
You can't help but think this is it for you. Do you think about that this is it for you?
I try not to. I've tried my best not to. I guess this past week has kind of been, or I guess the past couple days after losing against St. John's, I'm just thankful that I have another opportunity to play in another match. But I have been thinking about it. It's tough. I try not to, but you just got to be optimistic, and I'm going to leave whatever I can on the court because it is a potential to be my last game. So I'm just going to try my best.
Thanks.